The awakening of the human dreadnought. The vastness of space above Sci-Fi was a canvas painted with the flickering lights of countless stars. Amidst this tranquil expanse, a silent sentinel hung in orbit. The USS New Jersey, a relic from humanity's storied past. Once a mighty warship of the 20th century, it had been relegated to a museum piece, a monument to a bygone era. Now, with the Aoran fleet looming, it was about to be reborn. Captain Charles Evans stood on the bridge, his eyes scanning the cold, lifeless consoles that surrounded him. "Prepare for activation," he ordered, his voice steady and authoritative. Engineers scurried to their stations, fingers dancing over controls that hadn't been used in decades. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Mendes and his team worked frantically, sweat beading on their brows. "We need more power to the fusion reactors," Mendes shouted, his voice echoing through the cavernous space. The ancient machinery groaned in protest, but slowly, surely, it began to hum with life. On the Aoran flagship, the Celestial Wrath, Supreme Commander Pryor watched with a mixture of amusement and disdain. "That old relic will be no match for our fleet," he sneered, his claws tapping impatiently on the armrest of his throne-like chair. Around him, the bridge crew monitored the New Jersey's energy readings, which were slowly climbing. "Supreme Commander, the human ship's power levels are increasing," an officer reported. Pryor waved a dismissive claw. "It's just a museum piece. Begin the attack." The Aoran fleet surged forward, an armada of sleek, deadly ships moving with precision. Assault shuttles launched, bristling with weapons and carrying thousands of Aoran soldiers. Tanks and hovercraft were loaded, missile bays opened, and fighters screamed into the void, forming an impenetrable wall of firepower. On the New Jersey, Captain Evans felt the deck shudder as the engines roared to life. "Weapons status," he barked. Lieutenant Hernandez, his weapons officer, looked up from her console, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Rail guns charging, missile bays loaded, plasma cannons online, Captain." Evans nodded, a grim smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "All hands, this is the captain. We are the last line of defense for the human colony on Sci-Fi. There will be no retreat, no surrender. We fight for Earth, for humanity. Give them hell." A cheer rose from the crew, 3,000 voices strong, as the USS New Jersey surged forward, its ancient guns blazing to life. Plasma cannons charge, railguns primed, and missile batteries locked onto targets. The ship's voice boomed through the bridge, calm and resolute. "All hands, prepare for combat." The first volley from the Aoran fleet slammed into the New Jersey shields, making the ship shudder, but holding strong. "Return fire," Evans commanded. The railgun roared, a 1,000-ton projectile hurtling through space. It missed the Celestial Wrath by mere meters, but the kinetic energy of its passage sent shockwaves through the enemy fleet. On the Celestial Wrath, Supreme Commander Pryor was thrown from his chair as the ship shuddered violently. "Damage report," he bellowed, scrambling to his feet. The bridge was in chaos, consoles sparking and alarms blaring. "Minimal damage, but their weapon is powerful," an officer reported, her voice tinged with fear. Pryor snarled, his eyes narrowing. "Return fire. Destroy that human relic." The Aoran fleet unleashed a torrent of plasma torpedoes and particle beams, the void of space lighting up with their fury. But the New Jersey's armor, thick and resilient, absorbed the onslaught. "Hernandez, fire all batteries," Evans ordered, his voice a beacon of calm amidst the chaos. Laser cannons spat searing beams of light, and missiles streaked towards their targets. The New Jersey's guns roared with defiance, each shot a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. The battle had begun, and the human dreadnought, once a relic, was now a legend awakened. The battle rages. The void of space was a maelstrom of destruction. The Aoran fleet, sleek and advanced, seemed almost invincible as it closed in on the lone human warship. But the USS New Jersey, with its ancient yet formidable weaponry, held its ground. "Captain, enemy fighters are closing in," Hernandez reported, her voice steady despite the chaos. Evans glanced at the tactical display, where swarms of Aoran fighters darted towards them like angry hornets. "Deploy point defense systems. Keep those fighters at bay." Autocannons and laser turrets sprang to life, tracking the incoming fighters with precision. Streams of tracer fire and laser beams crisscrossed the space around the New Jersey, forming a deadly web. Fighters exploded in brilliant flashes, but more kept coming. Down in engineering, Mendes and his team were working miracles. "Reactor output is at 110%. Captain," Mendes reported over the comms, his voice filled with both exhaustion and determination. "We can hold this power level, but not for long." "Understood, Chief. Keep it together down there," Evans replied, his eyes never leaving the tactical display. The Aoran flagship, Celestial Wrath, loomed large, directing the assault with cold precision. "Hernandez, target the flagship. Let's see if we can rattle their cage." The main rail gun hummed with power, the magnetic coils glowing as they built up an immense electromagnetic field. "Target locked, Captain," Hernandez confirmed. "Ready to fire on your command." "Fire." The rail gun roared once more, the massive projectile hurtling towards the Celestial Wrath. This time, the shot struck true, slamming into the flagship's shields with a blinding flash. The force of the impact sent ripples through the Aoran formation, and on the bridge of the Celestial Wrath, Supreme Commander Pryor felt the shockwave. "Direct hit on our shields, Supreme Commander." "They're holding, but barely," an officer reported, her voice tinged with anxiety. Pryor's eyes narrowed, rage burning within them. "Intensify the attack. I want that human ship destroyed." The Aoran fleet responded with renewed fury. Plasma torpedoes and particle beams streaked towards the New Jersey, their combined firepower overwhelming the ship's shields. Explosions rocked the dreadnought, sending shudders through its massive frame. "Shields at 50%, Captain," Hernandez reported, her voice strained. Evans gripped the armrests of his command chair, his knuckles white. "We can't take much more of this. Return fire. All batteries. Target their lead ships." The New Jersey's guns blazed, laser cannons and missile launchers unleashing a relentless barrage. Aoran ships buckled under the onslaught, their sleek hulls torn apart by the sheer ferocity of the human retaliation. The void of space was filled with debris and the twisted wreckage of once proud warships. Amidst the chaos, an idea sparked in Evans' mind. "Chief Mendes, can we overload the reactors for a short burst of speed?" he asked over the comms. There was a moment of silence as Mendes considered the question. "It's risky, Captain. We might blow ourselves up in the process." "We're out of options, Chief. Do it." In the engine room, Mendes and his team worked frantically, rerouting power and bypassing safety protocols. The reactors groaned under the strain, the ship shuddering as the power level surged. "Ready, Captain," Mendes reported, his voice tense. "Helm, prepare for full thrust." "On my mark," Evans ordered. He watched the tactical display, timing their move perfectly. Now, the New Jersey surged forward, engines blazing with an almost desperate energy. The sudden acceleration caught the Aoran fleet off guard, the dreadnought barreling through their formation. Evans grinned fiercely. "Hernandez, fire all forward batteries. Give them everything we've got." The New Jersey's guns roared to life, a relentless stream of firepower tearing through the Aoran ships. Explosions blossomed in the void, the enemy fleet reeling from the unexpected assault. On the Celestial Wrath, Supreme Commander Pryor watched in stunned disbelief as his once unbeatable fleet was torn apart. "How are they doing this?" he snarled, his claws digging into the armrest of his chair. "Concentrate all fire on that ship. We cannot let them win." But the tide had turned. The New Jersey, with its ancient but powerful arsenal, had proven to be a match for the advanced Aoran fleet. The human spirit, embodied in the crew of the dreadnought, refused to be broken. As the battle raged on, the New Jersey continued to fight with relentless determination, its guns blazing, its shields holding, and its crew united in their defiance. The legend of the Human Dreadnought had only just begun, and the Aoran Empire would never forget the day they faced the might of humanity. The turning point. As the New Jersey plowed through the Aoran formation, Captain Evans knew they had only a brief window to capitalize on their momentum. "Helm, bring us around for another pass. Keep our profile narrow to minimize target area," he ordered, his mind racing through tactical possibilities. The Aoran fleet, disoriented by the sudden aggression of the human warship, struggled to regroup. Their precise formations broke apart as ships scrambled to avoid the oncoming juggernaut. Amidst the chaos, a squadron of Aoran fighters formed up for an attack run on the New Jersey's exposed flank. "Incoming fighters, port side," Hernandez warned, her fingers flying over the targeting controls. Point defense turrets swiveled and fired, filling the space with deadly streams of projectiles. Several fighters exploded, but a few managed to slip through the defensive net. "Brace for impact," Evans shouted. The fighters unleashed a volley of plasma torpedoes, and the ship shuddered violently as the torpedoes struck home. Alarms blared, and the bridge crew fought to maintain control. "Shields down to 20%, Captain," Hernandez reported, her voice tight with tension. Evans gritted his teeth. "Keep firing. We can't let them regroup." In the engine room, Chief Mendes and his team were pushing the reactors to their limits. "Captain, the reactors can't take much more of this. We're running on borrowed time," Mendes warned over the comms. "Understood, Chief. Do what you can," Evans replied, his mind focused on the immediate threat. He knew they had to find a way to tip the balance decisively in their favor. As the New Jersey swung around for another pass, a sudden inspiration struck Evans. "Hernandez, prepare a broadside. Target their support ships. If we can take out their supply and command vessels, we might just cripple their coordination." "Aye, Captain," Hernandez responded, her face set with determination. The ship's main guns and missile batteries adjusted their aim, locking onto the vulnerable support ships scattered among the Aoran fleet. Fire. The New Jersey's broadside erupted in a blinding display of firepower. Railgun slugs, plasma bolts, and missiles streaked towards their targets. Support ships, not designed for direct combat, crumbled under the relentless assault. Explosions rippled through the enemy fleet, sending debris and wreckage spiraling into space. On the Celestial Wrath, Supreme Commander Pryor watched in horror as his fleet's backbone was torn apart. "Retreat. All ships, fall back," he bellowed, but the damage was done. The once cohesive armada was now a disorganized mess. Evans saw the opportunity and seized it. "Press the attack. Don't let them escape." The New Jersey surged forward, its guns blazing with renewed vigor. The remaining Aoran ships, caught between the human warship and their damaged comrades, were cut down one by one. As the Aoran fleet crumbled, a transmission came through on the New Jersey's comms. "This is Supreme Commander Pryor. We surrender. Ceasefire." Evans allowed himself a moment of relief. "Stand down. All weapons. Secure from battle stations." The ship's guns fell silent, the sounds of combat replaced by the hum of machinery and the murmurs of the crew. Pryor appeared on the main view screen, his once arrogant demeanor replaced by a sullen resignation. "You have won this battle, human, but the war is far from over." Evans met his gaze with steely determination. "This isn't about war. It's about survival. Humanity will not be enslaved or eradicated. We will fight for our right to exist." Pryor's image flickered and disappeared, leaving the bridge in a tense silence. Evans turned to his crew, a sense of pride swelling within him. "We did it. We held the line." Cheers erupted from the bridge, a wave of emotion sweeping through the ship. The crew had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious. The legend of the U.S. New Jersey, the Human Dreadnought, had been forged in the fires of battle. As the New Jersey settled into a stable orbit around Rios II, Evans knew that their fight was far from over. The Aoran Empire would not easily forget this defeat. But for now, humanity had struck a blow for freedom, proving that even a relic from the past could become a symbol of hope and defiance. "Prepare for repair and resupply," Evans ordered. "We've got a lot of work ahead of us." The crew set to their tasks with renewed energy, their spirits buoyed by their hard-won victory. The New Jersey, once a museum piece, had become a beacon of human resilience and ingenuity. And as long as she sailed the stars, humanity's indomitable spirit would continue to shine. Reinforcements and revelation. With the immediate threat neutralized, the U.S. New Jersey settled into a temporary reprieve. The crew worked tirelessly to repair the damage and ready the ship for whatever lay ahead. Captain Evans knew that this victory was but a small skirmish in a much larger war. "Captain, incoming transmission from Earth Command," Lieutenant Hernandez reported. "It's Admiral Hayes." "Put it through," Evans replied, standing to face the main view screen. The image of Admiral Hayes, a stern yet reassuring figure, flickered into view. "Captain Evans, congratulations on your victory. The entire command is impressed with your handling of the situation," Hayes began, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "Thank you, Admiral." "The crew performed exceptionally," Evans replied, nodding in acknowledgement. "We're sending reinforcements and a repair ship to your location. We need the New Jersey back to full operational status as soon as possible. There's also something you need to be aware of," Hayes said, his tone shifting to one of grave seriousness. "Intelligence has intercepted communications indicating that the Aoran Empire is preparing a massive counterattack. They're not taking this defeat lightly." Evans felt a chill run down his spine. "Understood, Admiral. We'll be ready." "One more thing, Captain," Hayes continued. "We've received reports of a potential new weapon the Aorans are developing. Our sources are scarce on details, but it appears to be a game-changer. We need you to find out more about it and, if possible, neutralize the threat." "Consider it done, Admiral. We'll get the information," Evans replied, determination hardening his resolve. "Good luck, Captain." Earth Command out. The transmission ended, and Evans turned to his crew, his mind already racing with plans. "All right, people. You heard the Admiral. We've got reinforcements on the way and a new mission to prepare for," Evans announced. "Hernandez, I want detailed reports on our current status and repair needs. Mendes, coordinate with the incoming repair ship to prioritize our systems." As the crew set to work, Evans took a moment to reflect on their situation. The New Jersey had proven its worth, but the challenges ahead were daunting. The Aoran Empire was a formidable foe, and now they had the potential of a new weapon to contend with. Hours turned into days as the New Jersey underwent extensive repairs. The arrival of the repair ship, the U.S. Endeavour, brought much-needed supplies and additional manpower. Engineers swarmed over the Dreadnought, patching hull breaches, restoring systems, and ensuring that the ship was combat-ready. "Captain, we've received the latest intelligence reports from Earth Command," Hernandez said, handing Evans a datapad. "It looks like the Aorans are concentrating their forces in the Ryloth system. That's where their new weapon is rumored to be located." Evans studied the data, his mind formulating a plan. "We need to move quickly. If we can strike before the weapon is fully operational, we might be able to turn the tide." The crew's morale was high, bolstered by their recent victory and the arrival of reinforcements. The New Jersey, now fully repaired and resupplied, was ready for its next mission. Evans gathered his senior officers in the briefing room, a detailed holographic display of the Ryloth system hovering in the center of the table. "Our objective is to infiltrate the Ryloth system, gather intelligence on the Aoran's new weapon, and, if possible, destroy it," Evans began. "This will be a high-risk operation, but it's crucial to our long-term survival." Hernandez, Mendes, and the others listened intently, their faces reflecting the gravity of the situation. "We'll divide into two teams," Evans continued. Team Alpha will handle the infiltration and reconnaissance. Team Bravo will be on standby to provide support and extraction if needed. As the briefing concluded, the officers dispersed to prepare their teams. Evans lingered a moment, his gaze fixed on the holographic display. The Ryloth system was heavily fortified, but he knew that the element of surprise was on their side. "Captain, we're ready for departure," Hernandez reported from the bridge. "Take us out, Lieutenant," Evans ordered, his voice steady. The New Jersey's engines roared to life, propelling the dreadnought towards the Ryloth system and their next confrontation with the Aoran Empire. As the ship sped through the void, Evans couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the cusp of something monumental. The stakes had never been higher, but neither had their resolve. The legend of the U.S. New Jersey was far from over, and the crew was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with the same indomitable spirit that had carried them through their first battle. They were humanity's last line of defense, and they would not falter. Infiltration and discovery. The U.S. New Jersey emerged from hyperspace on the outskirts of the Ryloth system, sensors sweeping the area for any signs of the Aoran fleet. Captain Evans stood on the bridge, watching the tactical display intently. "Hernandez, report," Evans commanded. "System scans complete, Captain. The Aoran fleet is concentrated near the third planet. There are heavy defenses in place, including orbital platforms and patrol ships," Hernandez replied, her fingers flying over the console. "Any sign of their new weapon?" Evans asked. "Not yet, sir, but there's a massive energy signature coming from the surface of the third planet. It's consistent with the descriptions we have," Hernandez said, her voice tense. Evans nodded. "All right, we'll proceed with the plan. Team Alpha, prepare for deployment." In the ship's hangar bay, the infiltration team assembled. Clad in sleek, black suits designed for stealth operations, they carried advanced equipment for reconnaissance and sabotage. Lieutenant Jackson, a seasoned operative, led the team. "Listen up, everyone. Our primary objective is to gather intel on the Aoran weapon. If we get the chance to disable or destroy it, we take it. Stay sharp and stick to the plan," Jackson instructed, his voice calm and authoritative. The team boarded a sleek, stealth shuttle, its black hull blending seamlessly with the darkness of space. The shuttle launched from the New Jersey, slipping past the Aoran patrols undetected. As they approached the planet, Jackson activated the cloaking device, rendering the shuttle invisible to enemy sensors. "Entering the atmosphere now," the pilot reported, guiding the shuttle through the thick clouds. The landscape below was rugged and barren, with towering mountain ranges and deep canyons. They landed in a secluded valley, far from the main Aoran installations. "Move out," Jackson ordered. The team disembarked, spreading out to secure the area. They advanced cautiously, using the natural terrain for cover. Their destination was a massive structure carved into the side of a mountain, where the energy signature was strongest. As they approached, they could see Aoran soldiers patrolling the perimeter. Jackson signaled for the team to halt and observe the patrol patterns. "We need to find a way inside without raising the alarm," he said. One of the operatives, a tech specialist named Carter, pointed to a maintenance hatch on the side of the structure. "That hatch leads to the lower levels. We can bypass the security system and gain access." "Good work, Carter. Let's move," Jackson said. The team made their way to the hatch, Carter working quickly to disable the locks and security measures. The hatch opened with a soft hiss, and the team slipped inside. The interior of the structure was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, lit by a dim, eerie glow. They moved silently, avoiding detection as they navigated towards the source of the energy signature. Along the way, they planted small charges on critical systems, setting the stage for a potential sabotage. Finally, they reached a massive chamber, its walls lined with intricate machinery and glowing conduits. In the center of the room stood a colossal device, pulsating with energy. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, a fusion of alien technology and raw power. "That's it," Jackson whispered. "The Aoran weapon." Carter moved forward, scanning the device with his handheld sensor. "This thing is a quantum destabilizer. If fully operational, it could destabilize entire planets, rendering them uninhabitable." "We need to take this thing out," Jackson said. "But we need to gather as much data as we can first." "Carter, download everything you can from their systems." Carter connected his device to the Aoran network, his fingers dancing over the controls. "Downloading now. It's going to take a few minutes." "Make it quick. We don't have much time," Jackson urged. As Carter worked, the rest of the team kept a lookout, their weapons at the ready. Suddenly, the chamber doors slid open, and a squad of Aoran soldiers entered, weapons raised. "Intruders. Open fire," one of them shouted. "Contact. Engage," Jackson yelled. The chamber erupted in a fierce firefight, energy bolts and projectiles flying in all directions. The team fought with precision and discipline, using their training and superior tactics to hold off the Aoran soldiers. "Carter, how much longer?" Jackson shouted over the din of battle. "Almost there. Just a few more seconds," Carter replied, frantically tapping at his device. The team was outnumbered, but they held their ground, determined to complete their mission. Jackson fired at an approaching soldier, taking him down with a well-placed shot. "Hold the line." Finally, Carter's device beeped. "Download complete. I've got everything we need." "Good. Set the charges and let's get out of here," Jackson ordered. Carter quickly planted the last of the charges on the quantum destabilizer, setting the timers for a delayed detonation. "Charges set. Let's move," Carter confirmed. The team retreated through the corridors, fighting off Aoran soldiers as they made their way back to the shuttle. The sound of alarms blared through the structure, but they kept moving, driven by the urgency of their mission. They reached the shuttle and boarded quickly, the pilot lifting off and engaging the cloaking device. "We're clear. Returning to the New Jersey," the pilot reported. As they ascended through the atmosphere, a massive explosion rocked the surface below. The charges had detonated, crippling the Aoran weapon and causing a chain reaction of destruction within the structure. Back on the New Jersey, Captain Evans and the bridge crew watched the explosion from orbit. "Team Alpha, report," Evans ordered over the comms. "Mission accomplished, Captain. We have the data and the weapon is destroyed," Jackson reported. "Excellent work, Lieutenant. Prepare for debriefing," Evans replied, a sense of relief washing over him. They had dealt a significant blow to the Aoran Empire and gained valuable intelligence. As the New Jersey set course for a rendezvous with the rest of the fleet, Evans couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of hope. The war was far from over, but humanity had proven once again that they could stand against any threat. The legend of the U.S. New Jersey continued to grow, a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and unyielding spirit in the face of adversity. And as long as they had the courage to fight, humanity would endure. The cost of victory. The New Jersey, now armed with crucial intelligence and bolstered by their victory, rejoined the fleet at the designated rendezvous point. The atmosphere aboard the ship was a mix of triumph and anticipation, the crew eager to hear the next steps. In the ship's briefing room, Captain Evans gathered his senior officers to discuss their findings. Holographic displays filled the room with detailed schematics and data they had extracted from the Aoran weapon. "Lieutenant Jackson, excellent work on the infiltration. Carter, great job on retrieving the data," Evans began, nodding at the two operatives. "Now, let's discuss what we've learned." Carter stepped forward, activating a detailed schematic of the quantum destabilizer. The Aoran weapon we destroyed was indeed a quantum destabilizer. It uses a complex array of quantum field generators to destabilize the atomic structure of matter, causing catastrophic failure at a molecular level. He pointed to several highlighted areas on the schematic. "We identified critical vulnerabilities in the system, points where we can exploit the technology. If the Aorans attempt to rebuild this weapon, we'll know exactly where to strike." Admiral Hayes, who had joined the meeting via holographic link, listened intently. "This is invaluable information, Carter. Well done, but we can't ignore the possibility that the Aorans might have more of these weapons, or even more advanced versions in development." Evans nodded. "Admiral, we've also gathered intelligence on the Aoran's strategic movements. They're consolidating their forces, likely preparing for a large-scale offensive. We need to strike first." Hayes looked around at the assembled officers. "Agreed. We need to take the fight to them. Our best chance is to target their primary shipyards and production facilities. Crippling their ability to manufacture these weapons will buy us the time we need to regroup and strengthen our defenses. Captain Evans, I want you to lead this mission," Hayes continued. "The New Jersey has proven itself more than capable. You'll have the full support of the fleet." Evans straightened, feeling the weight of the responsibility. "Understood, Admiral. We'll begin preparations immediately." As the meeting concluded, the officers dispersed to ready their ship and crew for the upcoming assault. Evans remained behind, lost in thought. The stakes were higher than ever, and the cost of failure was unimaginable. In the hours that followed, the New Jersey and the rest of the fleet prepared for the daring operation. Engineers worked around the clock to ensure the ships were in top condition, while tacticians pored over the latest intelligence to devise the best approach. "Captain, the fleet is ready," Hernandez reported. "All systems are green, and the crew is standing by." Evans took a deep breath, his resolve hardening. "Let's move out." The fleet jumped to hyperspace, their destination, the Aoran primary shipyards. As they emerged from hyperspace, they were met with a sight that was both awe-inspiring and daunting. The Aoran shipyards were a sprawling complex of massive orbital facilities and docked warships, heavily defended by a formidable fleet. "All ships, this is Captain Evans. Initiate attack patterns and engage the enemy. We need to take out those shipyards," Evans commanded. The New Jersey led the charge, its weapons blazing as it tore through the Aoran defenses. The void of space lit up with the ferocity of the battle, beams of energy and missiles crisscrossing the darkness. On the bridge, Evans coordinated with the fleet, his commands precise and unyielding. "Target their command and control centers. We need to disrupt their coordination." Explosions rippled through the Aoran fleet as the human forces pressed their advantage. The New Jersey, with its restored might, proved to be a pivotal force in the battle. But the Aorans were relentless, their ships swarming to defend their vital shipyards. "Captain, we're taking heavy fire on the starboard side. Shields are holding, but we can't sustain this for long," Hernandez reported, her voice tense. "Mendes, divert power to the shields. Hernandez, concentrate fire on that battleship targeting us. We need to punch through their lines," Evans ordered. The battle raged on, each side sustaining heavy losses. The New Jersey shuddered under the continuous barrage, its crew working tirelessly to maintain the ship's systems. As the tide of battle seemed to hang in the balance, a massive Human Dreadnought emerged from the shipyards, its size dwarfing even the New Jersey. "Incoming enemy dreadnought, Captain. It's powering up its main weapon," Hernandez warned. Evans knew this was the critical moment. "All batteries, focus fire on that dreadnought. We need to take it out before it can fire." The New Jersey unleashed a torrent of firepower, targeting the dreadnought's vulnerable points. The combined might of the human fleet converged on the colossal vessel, each ship contributing to the onslaught. The Aoran dreadnought's shields flickered and failed under the relentless assault. Its hull buckled and shattered, a massive explosion tearing it apart. The destruction of the dreadnought sent shockwaves through the Aoran forces, their formation collapsing in disarray. "Captain, the shipyards are vulnerable. We can take them out now," Hernandez urged. "All ships, concentrate fire on the shipyards." "Let's finish this," Evans commanded. The fleet's firepower converged on the shipyards, massive explosions ripping through the complex. The Aoran production capabilities were devastated, their ability to wage war severely crippled. As the remnants of the Aoran fleet retreated, the human forces secured their victory. The New Jersey, scared and battle-worn, stood as a testament to humanity's resilience and determination. Captain Evans, you've done it. The Aoran threat is significantly diminished, Admiral Hayes said, his holographic image conveying a rare smile. This victory will be remembered for generations. Thank you, Admiral. The crew deserves all the credit. They fought with everything they had, Evans replied, his voice filled with pride. The New Jersey and the fleet returned to Earth, where they were met with celebrations and accolades. The legend of the U.S. New Jersey had grown, a symbol of hope and strength for all of humanity. But Evans knew that the war was not yet over. The Aoran Empire was wounded, but not defeated. As long as there was a threat to humanity, the New Jersey and her crew would be ready to stand in defense. In the quiet moments after the battle, Evans reflected on the cost of victory. Lives had been lost, sacrifices made, but they had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, proving that humanity's spirit could never be extinguished. As the New Jersey prepared for its next mission, Evans looked out at the stars, knowing that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them with the same courage and determination that had carried them through this battle. The story of the U.S. New Jersey was far from over, and he was ready to write the next chapter, the aftermath and new beginnings. The victory over the Aoran shipyards was a significant turning point in the war, but it came with a heavy cost. The human fleet, though triumphant, had suffered significant losses. The U.S. New Jersey returned to Earth for much-needed repairs and to honor the fallen. As the battered fleet entered Earth's orbit, they were greeted with a hero's welcome. The world watched in awe as the New Jersey and her crew were celebrated for their bravery and sacrifice. Captain Evans and his officers stood on the deck, looking down at the planet they had fought so hard to protect. Aboard the New Jersey, the crew gathered in the main hangar for a solemn ceremony. Admiral Hayes, now in person, addressed them. Today, we honor the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought and gave their lives for humanity. Their courage has secured our future, and we will never forget their contributions. The names of the fallen were read aloud, each one echoing through the hangar. The crew stood in silence, remembering their comrades who had paid the ultimate price. After the ceremony, Evans and his senior officers met with Admiral Hayes to discuss the next steps. Captain Evans, your leadership has been exemplary. The information we gathered from the Aoran weapon will be crucial in our ongoing efforts, Hayes said. Evans nodded. Thank you, Admiral. But we can't afford to rest on our laurels. The Aoran Empire is still a threat, and we need to be prepared for their next move. Agreed, Hayes replied. Our intelligence suggests that the Aorans are regrouping and may launch a counteroffensive. We need to fortify our defenses and continue to strike at their key positions. As the meeting concluded, Hayes handed Evans a datapad. Captain, I have a new mission for you and the New Jersey. We've identified several Aoran outposts that are critical to their operations. Your task is to lead a strike force and neutralize these targets. Evans accepted the datapad, his determination renewed. We'll get it done, Admiral. In the days that followed, the New Jersey underwent extensive repairs and upgrades. Engineers and technicians worked tirelessly to restore the ship to its full combat readiness. The crew, meanwhile, took the opportunity to rest and recuperate, knowing that their next mission would be just as challenging as the last. One evening, as Evans walked through the ship, he found Chief Engineer Mendes working late in the engine room. Mendes, how are the repairs coming along? Mendes wiped sweat from his brow and smiled. We're almost there, Captain. The upgrades will give us more firepower and better defenses. The New Jersey will be ready to go soon. Good work, Chief. We need every advantage we can get, Evans replied. As the crew prepared for their next mission, Evans reflected on the journey they had taken. The New Jersey had gone from a museum relic to a symbol of human resilience and strength. They had faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious, proving that humanity's spirit could never be broken. On the day of their departure, the crew assembled on the bridge. Evans looked around at the faces of his officers, each one filled with determination and resolve. All hands, prepare for departure. Our mission is clear. We will continue to strike at the heart of the Aoran Empire and protect humanity at all costs. The New Jersey powered up, her engines roaring to life. As the ship left Earth's orbit, Evans addressed his crew. We have faced the darkness and prevailed. Now we must continue to fight for our future. Together, we will overcome any challenge and secure a lasting peace for humanity. The crew cheered, their spirits lifted by Evans' words. The New Jersey and her crew were ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that they were part of something greater, a story of courage, sacrifice, and the unyielding spirit of humanity. As the ship jumped to hyperspace, Evans looked out at the stars, a sense of purpose and hope filling his heart. The journey was far from over, but he knew that with his crew by his side, they would face whatever came their way with unwavering determination. The U.S. New Jersey continued its voyage, a beacon of hope in the vastness of space, ready to defend humanity and write the next chapter in their epic tale.